Orlando Steinauer, meanwhile, has picked up right where his predecessor June Jones left off. 7-2, the best Ticats start since 1998. Meanwhile, on the other side, a nightmare start for Devon Claybrooks as his team sits here at 1-8, and he is looking for his first home win of the season. And we get set to kick things off. Sergio Castillo kicking deep. Frankie Williams back there to return. Williams takes the return at his own 16. Not a lot of room, but a reverse. That is Jordan Moore. Not much going there for him as he gets to around the 25-yard line, but some razzle-dazzle early on to get things started for the Ticats.
Yes, not sure I understand that one, but I do understand this kid from Sanger, Texas.
Hey, left middle, Tiger, Tiger.
Gonna have a listen to him all night long. Live Mike.
Tiger, Tiger, Tiger. Here we go, Tiger, listen, listen, listen. Y and F, Tango, to quad snug right. 61 X Harvey, wide big ground. On one, ready?
Did you get all that far?
Yeah, well, I'm sure you got every word of it. Dane Evans making his 5th start for the Ticats as his team 1st and 10 from their own 24-yard line. Evans drops back to pass. Has a completion of Braylon Addison, who's really developed into his favorite target, at least last week.
Yeah, and absolutely love it. And there we're highlighting them. Why? Because they do have a connection. One being from Missouri City, Texas, the other from Sanger on the left-hand side. You got Palmer.
Quarterback sneak to get the first down for the Ticats.
Yeah, and just talking about Kelvin Palmer, 4th-year player from Baylor Bear, and he's going up against Sean Lemon and Odell Willis, prominent rush ends now for the BC Lions.
Trips right.
Palmer came into the CFL with the BC Lions. They weren't necessarily enamored with him for a couple of years. He goes to Hamilton, and his career has really taken off. 1st and 10 now at the 37-yard line for Hamilton. This time the give inside. That's Cameron Marshall with a gain of close to 5 yards.
Yeah, and I highlighted Sean Lemon because he's making a 2nd start as a BC Lion, reunited with Coach Devon Claybrooks, and he's going to help free up Odell Willis in Coach Claybrooks' words. And this linebacking core, Chris Edwards, supposed to be Mike tonight, but we're going to have a little crowd on the defensive side of the ball, so we'll get more into that as the game goes on. And Kretschmann, Butler, and Peters, I love these two guys. They're both from Clemson University, trying to lock down the corner.
Evans looking for Addison there on 2nd and 5. Just off target, and Hamilton will have to punt, so a good start for the BC Lions, who are looking for anything to get positive about right now, Matt.
Yeah, and more about that live Mike Farad. We had an injury to Adrian Tracy beginning at warm-ups, and to be fair, shutting down both defensive players that were originally supposed to be mic'd up for tonight's ballgame.
Difficult situation for Hamilton right now defensively. Tracy has been very good for them. Meanwhile, it is Ryan Langford with the return at his own 24-yard line. Not much room on the left side, and we've got a penalty flag on the play. When we come back, the BC Lions will take over. Mike Riley looking for his first win here at BC Place in his new life as a Lion when we come back. The Nissan Titan Player of the Game is brought to you by the Nissan Titan, ranked #1 in quality by J.D. Power. And for the Lions, Gary Peterson took an illegal block penalty on that return. The Lions will start deep in their own end. Mike Riley trying to get his team going.
The hunt! 380! 380 hunt!
Riley with a quick pass to Brian Burnham, breaks a couple of tackles, close to first down yardage before being brought down by Richard Leonard at the 25-yard line. A good start getting out of a deep hole for BC.
Yeah, just simply counting numbers, Farhan, is not that difficult. You just count numbers. You look at them here. You've got 1, 2, 3 here, and you've only got 3 players. You're going to add a 4th into this, and they got numbers right away.
Oh, here we go. Hunt! 380! 380 hunt!
Riley escapes the pocket, gets it out to John White, open at the 40-yard line before being corralled down by Roll and a host of Ticat defenders. Very good game for the Lions running back.
Yeah, and this is Mike Riley, just awareness in the pocket, stepping up and not panicking. Watch him as he drops back and he steps up to his right as he feels a little pressure coming here underneath. He's washing his face. He keeps his eyes downfield and founds his nifty running back, John White, who can make things happen in a hurry.
White with a big game against Hamilton 2 weeks ago with 124 yards and 2 touchdowns along the ground. Good start for him in the passing game. BC at the 48. Riley with the hand up, the fake to Wayne Moore. Riley rolling to his left, pressured and brought down on the play.
Yeah, that's Hauser right there. Julian Hauser from Carrion in Pennsylvania. This kid is playing, and he's going to play a lot more than expected tonight because Adrian Tracy, as I said earlier, is out of the ball game. He's right here. Just keep your eyes on him. And Mike Riley's going to come right to him, and he's got contained. He goes, uh-oh, I better get back out there. And Mike Riley comes right back into him. Makes it easy on the young defensive end.
There's Adrian Tracy with his arm in a sling, and as you mentioned, just a freak injury in the warm-up. Hauser, meanwhile, with his second sack of the season, and for Mike Riley, an all too familiar frame, sack for the 37th time. And we've got penalty flags on the play. BC appeared to be way offside. Deron Carter way down the field.
Yeah, when you got strides like that, and you're 6'5", and you're
offside.
2 years off the
BC
ball.
number 89, a 5-yard penalty. Will replay second down.
Take a look at how Adrian hurt himself, and this is just misfortune. You can't believe this. I've done this in warm-ups. Right there, something real inconspicuous. Just ripping through, working on some technique, and hurt his left arm in some capacity.
Clearly the Ticats too violent in warm-up. You're not allowed to hit in practice, so you might as well do it in the pregame.
And it wasn't even a hit. He was just working a little underneath the rip move.
Penalty against the Lions makes it 2nd and 18, and Riley is sacked again. And this time it is David Dean from Virginia taking Riley down, and the Lions will punt, the 38th sack of the season against the BC quarterback.
This is really nice right here, and you just watch the push and coming off the edge as well. That's House, a nice little spin move, flushes him inside, and Mike Riley's got nowhere to go but down.
First sack of Dean's career. Lions will punt from their own 32-yard line. Josh Bartell with the end-over-end kick. Frankie Williams fields it at his own 38. And the Lions right there with a good job in coverage.
That's twice already far ahead. First quarter, first series.
Mike Riley feeling it early on in this game. Scoreless early in this first quarter. The CFL on TSN is brought to you by the Nissan Titan, ranked #1 in quality by J.D. Power. Ticats with very good field position to start their second drive of the game at the 41-yard line.
That's exactly where BC Lions opponents start every one of their drives on average.
Evans drops back to pass, has to check down. A dangerous pass to the right sideline. Aaron Grimes breaks it up.
Yeah, you can almost see the wheels turning with the young Dane Evans out there going through his reads, and he was a little late on that, and that almost went the other way.
Nikola Kalinic, the intended target on the play.
Yeah, and he's just coming out of the tight end spot, running a flat route area outside, and he's sitting down, waiting. I'm going to tell that young receiver who's just coming off the 6th game and work back to me if he wants to see the ball again.
Fairly good coverage by the Lions secondary in the back end. Now they show blitz, and that one is deflected. Kevin Haynes with the deflection, the newcomer out of Central Washington University, knocks the pass down and forces Hamilton into his second punt.
Chris hit it too late. Chris is hitting it too late.
He was open.
Yeah, Dane wants that one back. Just didn't have time as Coombs gets overrun by the young Kevin Haynes.
No, he was there, yeah.
Lions with pressure on the kick, but Harlahu gets off a good one. Langford fields it at his own 21. One flag down on the play before he is run out of bounds. And then a big hit at the end of that that draws another flag. Lions again, when we come back after this, are going to start with some bad field position with 2 penalties on that play. Devin Haynes went to the same school as Adam Big Hill, makes a Big Hill type play for the Lions in the first quarter. We're still scoreless when we come back.
Yeah, and this is going to get ugly here. You watch Noah Robinson. He's going to take on Kalinic right here. He's just off the 6th game, and with hits like this, tourist hits like that, you're going to go back on the 6th game in a heartbeat. Keep your head on a swivel, and that's uncalled for, Noah. And BC starts worse field position than they had when the first drive when they started the 15th.
You saw 3 flags come out. That one's a hard one to miss, that blindside hit. John White with the carry, short gain on the play, maybe 2 yards.
Yeah, and we've got John White highlighted. Why not? As you said off the top, far ahead, 124 yards a couple weeks ago, and absolutely phenomenal night. Just feeding the rock. He wants the ball at least 15 times. Up front, you've got the 2 guys from Miami. Absolutely love it. Figueroa on the left and Renfro on the right. They're going up against a kid from William & Mary and a kid from SMU.
Blue 30! Blue 30, hot!
Riley trying to draw Hamilton offside. Looks like he may have done that, but John White with the big carry across the 30, across the 35-yard line before finally being brought down by Rico Murray. Flag on the play. Could have been offside.
Offside. Hamilton, number 95. That penalty's declined. First down.
Yeah, Mike Riley does a great job with the cadence. Doesn't need it because the big boys up front are paving the way for John White. And this is just smooth sailing here, and this is the way you get out of a hole. Just lets things create in front of you. And John White does the rest, often running, gets them deep out of a bad hole.
Yeah, Lions don't make it there. They're probably looking at a safety in the first points of the game going to Hamilton, but now at the 37, they'll feel better about their place. Riley drops back to pass, the crossing route. That's Mackey with the hurdle before being knocked out of bounds at the 45-yard line. David Mackey with the catch and run. Where did that come from, Matty?
Well, it's a great matchup, and he's coming left to right across the football field. You'll see him, and he's going to win this battle just about every time. Justin Tuggle is nowhere to be seen in a trail position, and Mackey gets his track on and does a little hurdle over the top, and then runs over Frankie Williams. He's just on a mean streak right there. That's great form. He's showing out for the Western Mustang.
He must have ran hurdles at some point there. 29 yards on the catch and run, and the Lions in Hamilton territory for the first time tonight.
His teammates are loving that too on the sidelines.
White again looking left, comes back inside, finds some room, has a first down before being taken down on the play by Justin Tuggle. Gain of 14 yards in the play, and the Lions are knocking at the door.
And these big boys are just moving it, man, just moving it. All coming here to the left, just getting the big bodies moving in one direction. And John White, they call him the heartbeat, and they're looking for energy from him, and they get it just about every time he touches the football. He is a spark plug, and he sparked this BC Lions offense.
We're 30. 30 hot.
Riley fakes this time to White. He's got the swing pass to Brian Burnham, trying to pick up a block. Good tackling on the play. Leonard and Adeleke in on the tackle after a gain of about 3 yards.
Jagarrett Davis, absolutely love this guy. Leads his team with 6 sacks this year, 4th-year player from SMU. And
Here we go, here we go, here we go.
on the other side, you get Hauser, who's already had his impact on this game. Rico Murray,
60, wide go.
defense coordinator Mark Washington, head coach Orlando Steinhauer talks about the multiplicity and then roles, doing a great job in the absence of one of the CFL's best in Bro.
Blue 30. Blue 30, hot.
Riley working the snap count again. No flags. He gets nailed as he throws. That ball is going to be picked off. Rico Murray in the end zone. Riley still looking for an offside call on the play. It looked like there was some movement, but no flags came out. Riley not happy about it. Not happy about no call, and not happy about the interception on what started out as a promising drive.
Yeah, Justin Tuggle's going to come up in here, and he's going to get lucky because you can't challenge offside, and Tuggle gets his first sack of his career. John White's got to pick up two, and Tuggle comes free as White picks up Simone Lawrence, and Mike Riley gets flushed, and he gets Tuggle interrupts that throw, and that's just an easy pickings for Rico Murray on the other end. He got lucky trying to take that ball out as the ball never crossed the goal line, so subsequently to get it to 25.
That's the 17th career interception for Rico Murray. And honestly, looking at that play, Matty, I'm not sure they crossed the line. There were two players that moved right there, but not sure it was obvious that it would have been offside.
Well, that's unfortunate, taking points off the board if you're the BC Lions. Boy, they could use some in the first quarter, that's for sure.
Yeah, not many breaks for that team. Evans with the keeper gives himself up after a gain of about 4 yards.
Yeah, he doesn't do that very often. We've seen him do it in some short yardage situations when Jeremiah Masoli was in the ball game, but he certainly has that ability. He says if he's got it, he prides himself in being able to do just about everything on the football field.
That's right. Fake 61, X Harvey, white card W Parks on one. Ready? Burst. White card W post. Go. Ready.
Evans drops back to pass. Has a receiver on the play. That's Jalen Acklin, good enough for first down yardage. Out near the 40-yard line.
First-year player from Western Illinois. Watch this throw. He throws it before the receiver breaks. It's exactly what you want. By the time he turns around, the ball's on him, and he corrals it for first down.
Little misdirection. Speedy Banks breaks one tackle, run out of bounds after a gain of about 6.
Tackled 4 yards out of bounds, too. And I just don't understand that. These players are just as important as the quarterbacks are in this league. And Brandon Banks went off last time they met 2 weeks ago. And 9 catches, 137 yards, and a couple TDs in his last one. Was the biggest one of the ball game, coming back from 15-point deficit, making it happen. Dane Evans and Speedy B lighting it up.
And then a fairly quiet game for Banks last week, just 2 catches for 25 yards in that one, and it was Braylon Addison that picked up the slack. So many weapons for this Hamilton offense. That's Anthony Coombs, finds some space inside, picks up the first down, and much more into BC territory.
Yeah, and talking to Dane Evans yesterday, he loves Anthony Coombs as he does all the other Smurf receivers he's got on his team, because they can do this, make you miss in a phone booth and gut you in a hurry for some quick yards in space.
Coombs, who was a college running back, has spent most of his CFL career as a receiver, but because of injuries at the running back position, he's back in the backfield for Hamilton. This time a play fake. Evans with time, looks over the middle, and he looks down the left sideline, and he finds Speedy Banks for a nice gain on the play and another Hamilton first down.
He's going hurry up here, changing the pace. Take a quick look at this strike, and he strong arms it. He's got a cannon, shows it off there.
Interesting formation. This time they overloaded the left side. The pitch to Cameron Marshall. Lions were able to hold that to about a 4-yard gain, but you like that creativity, Matty?
Well, a little, Tommy Condell, new offensive coordinators. He's in his lab drawing that stuff up.
Strong Miami.
Well, I love sit-downs yesterday talking to.
Let's game it up front.
I love that. Devon Cleveland's head coach for the BC Lions. Getting inside his head, listening, eavesdropping a little bit.
Evans with the fake, avoids the sack. Throws it incomplete, but pretty good effort by Dane Evans to get away from that sack and minimize the damage.
Yeah, and possibly saving points here as well. Yeah, and you're looking right here, and I believe that's where the pressure is going to come from Sean Lemon. Little spin move, then he's in the lap of Evans. Evans says, not today, I'm gonna Dini on you, and throws it away.
David Menard also pressuring Evans late on that play, and the Ticats are looking at a 40-yard field goal for Lirim Haralahu. This one is wide. Langford looks to return the ball, gets out to the 5-yard line, but not much more. Great coverage on the play by Hamilton. And if you're Devon Claybrooks, you might have wanted Langford to take the point on that play, taking it deep in the end zone.
Available intelligent.
Should he have given up the single point?
Yeah, you would think so there. So now in the first 3 drives, BC started the 15, the 5, and now the 6.
Just the way an offense draws it up.
What was that, an even white? Hey, even white, Malik, on that first one, he chased you, come outside, right? Yeah, come on now. Hey!
Devon doing what head coaches do, coaching them up on the fly.
30 hot.
White again finds room again up the middle, outside around the 12-yard line. Positive gain on first down. On the first 2 drives, Matty, BC was able to move the ball, pick up some first downs. On the last one, they even got across midfield, but it's a long way to go every time you're looking at 85 to 100 yards every time to go to the length of the field.
Yeah, you're going to need some more of those explosive plays, which we saw last drive from John White, and this is not good for the BC Lions. Looks like John is down there.
This would be really bad news if it was long-term for the last few games because of ratio concerns. BC's not been able to dress Brandon Rutley to share the carries, but they did get Wayne Moore back in the lineup a couple of weeks ago. Hamilton fans should be familiar with him. He played at McMaster, so you could see a lot more of Moore in the backfield as this game progresses. He missed the first 6 games of the season because of a shoulder injury.
Another look at it here. I believe it was Jaguar Davis rolls up on the back of his ankle. He's a resilient young man. Worked through an Achilles, an ACL, and you can see him roll up on his ankle right there. That's just the nature of the beast right there.
White gingerly walking off the field alongside Nick Lewis, running back coach for the Lions. And BC sits at second. Call it a short 4 without their best running back.
On these smokes, yeah. All right, East doubles right, W. 98 rock, ZNX smoke, alpha, alpha, ready? 98, 98.
Moore is in fact in the backfield.
330. 330 hot.
And Riley gives to Moore, who finds some room close to first down yardage, but might be a little bit short. Adeleke and Wade the tackles.
I like it. Go right to him. Don't even hesitate.
But it's a long yard, maybe a yard and a half to go for the Lions here. This would be a tough place to go for it, deep in your own end.
Wow, man, they are going for it. I got to think they're going to draw them off sides here. Try to anyways, and then possibly looking up at either punting the ball and hoping for a good cover unit.
We got this.
Giving a safety after you back them up 5.
Here we go. Queens left, Sale, Woodstock left. On the hustle, ready? We're going to sail to the left, right when I start to go in. All right, go ahead. On the hustle, coming in.
You heard Orlando Steinauer calling for the hard count.
That's
all Mike Riley should have it.
That's all Mike Riley. That was gutsy. 1-8, trying to win your first at home, why not?
Not much to lose at this point. As you mentioned, 1-8. After 1 quarter, plenty of yards, but not any points. It is the Lions and Ticats tied at 0s. We'll be back with the second quarter after this. Matt, as we take a look at the first quarter stats, the Lions are doing a lot of good things, but they have got a long ways to go. Field position might be the real stat of that first quarter.
No question. 15, 5, and 6 yard line is their positional starts in each drive in the first quarter. And That's tough to score points, and they haven't done it, and they took points off the board as Mike Riley was flushed and threw an errant ball, and Rico Murray comes down with a gift. And this football team is, you can see how desperate they are going forward on 3rd and 1.5 backed up. I thought for sure that they're going to go try to draw them off sides far hand and take 5 yards and give up a safety, but they went for it, and luckily they got that first down, but they're still backed up.
Could that be a sign of things to come as far as trick plays and taking chances?
Double tights right here.
Moore with the carry again, breaks the first tackle, spins and stays up. Brought down by Adeleke after a gain of about 8, maybe 9 yards.
Yeah, Dylan Wynn missed him in the backfield, had him dead to rights as they go double tights trying to flatten out that defense. And right there, he runs right through that tackle, and well, that's it. That's a great run for a young back, getting a taste of it early in this ball game.
S flat, R
Talked to Ed Herbie about Moore
wheel W edge,
in the offseason. He couldn't believe that a year ago this player was still on the streets and so many other players that had been through the draft had jobs, and he just looked at Wayne Moore and thought, this guy can play in this league. As soon as he got him available, he signed him quick. Riley rolls to his right, pumps once, finds Deron Carter. Carter's got to beat somebody to get a first down, beats one. But I don't think he got the first down in the play as he went sideways for a while there, Matty.
Well, he got as much as he possibly could, I think, out of that play. And you saw a bit of that magic that Deron Carter possesses. We haven't seen much of it this year, averaging 8.9 yards a catch, but just tuggles right there. Rico Murray misses, Frankie Williams almost misses, and Deron Carter puts him in another 3rd and short situation just on his effort alone.
We'll call it a 1 yard gain for Carter, but again, a long one to go for the Lions here.
Going to the boundary, yeah. On the hustle, coming in. Hurry, son.
Riley again with the first down.
Yeah, you heard that.
He's feeling it.
That is just no man's land. You better be a man if you're down there.
5R.
And there's been a lot of those for the Lions this year. The 3rd down sneak, every yard is so hard to come by for this offense this year.
Yeah,
Here we go.
It's game
Still
10.
gold bunch left. 995 orange, W Ghost, white coat.
And when a guy's been sacked as much as he has, how much do the sneaks, how much of a toll do they take?
It just keeps adding up. It's like your energy bar is just depleted.
380.
Knocks it right out of you.
2 first downs. They fake the reverse to Brian Burnham. Pass out into the flat for Moore. Looks like he's close to a first down right there as Moore gets involved early. The Lions have no shortage of confidence in this young back out of McMaster.
Yeah, Mike Riley's going to roll to his left, little point fake, and I love it. And then he's going to drop his release right there. And you've got to have all kinds of throws in the arsenal, and certainly Mike Riley has that ability. Drops his elbow and darts one to his back.
See the trainers looking at White on the sideline. But right now, BC in pretty good shape with Moore.
380. 380.
Riley drops back to pass, steps up into the pocket. He's going to take off and keep it. Brought down by Simone Lawrence after a short gain. We'll call it 3 yards.
Yeah, you can look at his elbows every time he gets up. His left one and his right one, and those aren't going to get any better over the course of the next 3 months. They just keep getting ripped open every time you struggle for a first down.
Copper left, Yao, squeeze
Wearing
in.
that left knee brace for just protection purposes, not that his knee's in danger. Told us that yesterday, and he's glad he's been wearing it a couple times this year already as people have been rolling into that left knee.
380. 380.
Riley drops back again on 2nd and 7. Can't find an open target, and it looks like he will be dropped again for the 3rd time tonight.
This is Garrett Davis, 4-year player from Smeal, getting his 7th of the season.
Jaguaret with 2 sacks and 5 tackles in his last game against the Lions 2 weeks ago.
I mean, he's going to come all the way underneath. He's going to get in front, leverage. Mike hung on to that ball a long time, giving Jaguaret Davis an opportunity to get back there.
You might want to call that a coverage sack because it didn't look like there were too many people open downfield. Bartel with the end-over-end kick to Frankie Williams. Flag on the play for no yards. Williams brought down after minimal gain, but they will pick up some with the penalty yardage.
Brandon Dozier gets down that.
Riley closing in on his 40th sack of the season, a number he doesn't want to get to, his third of the night. Sacks have been a storyline all season. The Lions have made changes on their offensive line, but still, that is an ugly number. 39 through 9 games in a little over a quarter, on pace for a record 72 sacks, and with more on the Lions quarterback's ability to take a hit. Let's send it down to Jermaine Franklin.
Yeah, like you mentioned, Farhan, no quarterback since they've kept the stat has been sacked that much. What Riley is on pace for. So I asked him, how does he take so much punishment yet still have a good attitude? And he told me his dad has a lot to do with it. His dad was his coach when he was a young kid, and he may have been the best athlete on the field, able to escape the pocket. But his dad told him, no, stay in the pocket. Make sure you take that extra second. Let receivers get open to make the big play. And it's not often, Farhan, that a parent tells his kid to embrace trouble instead of escaping it, but that's what Papa Riley believed would separate his son from the others, and clearly that's why Riley is here today.
Hamilton, number 12. That penalty is declined. It will be second down.
Hey, here we go.
Jalen Marshall looking for his first career catch. Dropped that last ball.
Big out,
We had an offensive pass interference on the play, as you heard, so 2nd and 10. But
Right through his hands. That was a catchable ball.
your son played football growing up. My son plays football right
told
now.
him the same thing.
You tell him to take a hit?
Told him the same thing. You're going to play that position, you better learn how to do it.
Dane Evans dials one up deep. What a catch. Oh no, Braylon Addison looked like he had it in his hands. Couldn't survive contact with the ground. That was a highlight reel waiting to happen, but no such luck for the former Oregon Duck.
Ooh, shoot.
This is letting your receiver go get it, putting some air on it, letting him give him a
Great
chance.
job,
And
thanks.
he airs out, does his best.
Good job, Ola.
Greg
Way to hold
Ellenson
up on that.
imitation, and the ball just comes up once he hits the turf.
Almost caught it on the way back down before it hit the turf. TJ Lee in coverage, but heck of an effort by Braylon Addison, who, as we mentioned, is really turning into a favorite target of Dane Evans.
Why not? Why not? They worked magic towards the end of last season, gave Braylon Addison an opportunity to actually make the team and solidify his position.
Ryan Langford with the return, not much doing there. Good coverage in the play by Jeff Reinbold's special teams crew. Lions will take over again. Deep in their own end, Addison lamenting the one that got away. He has had plenty of great ones this season, though. Still looking for our first points here at BC Place. The CFL on TSN continues tomorrow as the Owls and the Argos go head-to-head in a touchdown Atlantic game live from Moncton, New Brunswick. Coverage gets underway at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, only on TSN. Lions again get the ball back deep in their own end inside their 20. Call it their 18-yard line.
Best starting field position tonight for them.
This time a reverse to Lamar Durant. He finds a seam, gets tackled after he kicks up the first down, close to first down yardage.
And this is diversity at its finest right here. Great pickup in the offseason, I believe. Lamar Durant giving them a lot of capabilities,
Got a fib.
moving him around and
Church right
getting some
tight, flex
production
short.
from number 1.
994 smack, 12, X-cat, W slip, Y knife, alpha, alpha, ready?
Durant taking a shot from Frankie Williams on the outside of that knee, bounces right back up. And Durant had a great first 4 games, had a bit of a lull, and now the last 2 he's caught fire again. This time the fake to Moore. Riley looking, sets up the screen. Moore's got it. He's got some room and he's got some blocks. Tuggle trying to catch him, and he will, but not before a big gain down to the 31-yard line. Wayne Moore continuing to make the most of his opportunity in John White's absence.
Yeah, this is well played, well designed. Jarius Jackson going in his lap. Watch these guys just kind of bait people here, and then they'll slide over here and wall it. Mike Riley comes here, then he shoots it back over there. It's a nice little screen set up here. Get leverage now, let your players go with flow. Get out in front, knock those little guys over. Nice job by Norman, get downfield. He's running a 40.
380! 380, hut!
Gain of 50 on that last play. They go right back to Moore again. I guess he's not tired after the long catch and run.
Oh, I guess he is.
Picks up 2 on the play.
Getting to see just how fast his ball game is, and I know he's loving those touches, as any back would. Getting a feel for it. They have not hesitated once John White went down.
Beta. We got spread left Ross, 74. Z Hoosiers, X-Lion. Beta, ready? First for you, Wayne. Beta, 74.
It's the first time I've heard Beta in a while, so be on 2.
Blue 80!
A clean shot at the quarterback. And that is Wynn. Mike Riley not happy about that. Takes the sack, another promising drive goes away.
Yeah, he's coming unabated, as we like to call it. Mike Riley is not liking it at all. As everybody fans, and Mike Riley once again pays the price.
And you can just tell Justin Renfro on the right side didn't have the snap count, didn't move, just got beat off the ball. They changed the snap count on the play, and it didn't work out well for BC as they take another sack, the 40th sack of the season for Mike Riley. Sergio Castillo with a 45-yard field goal attempt. And it's good. The Lions draw first blood with Sergio Castillo's field goal.
Well, that shouldn't be nothing. You got to be tough as nails in the CFL to continue to withstand that type of punishment. Dylan Wynn and company celebrate.
Sergio Castillo picks up the ball from the left hash, moves it over to the right hash.
He's tricking him.
It's got to be. Because they want to kick to Frankie Williams instead of David Ungerer. Williams takes it at his own 16-yard line, looking for some room on the right. And he is brought down on the play. Well, it took a few guys to bring him down. Kevin Haynes the first, but a few other guys got there, including TJ Lee.
Frankie Williams brings the kick return.
You know, when we watch his quarterback play, we know he's tough as nails. We know that he can withstand a lot. And it's ironic that he's one of the last 2 standing as starters in the CFL. And his right tackle doesn't do any favors here. He doesn't even move. It's on 2, and Dylan Wynn gets a free shot. And Mike Riley is not very happy, and he's letting his teammate know about it. That gets old, and it hurts.
I'm not sure any of them knew once the center snapped it. It took a while for all 4 additional linemen to react on the play.
We heard it up here. Beta. I mean, we know it's on 2. Come on. Not that difficult. That just tells me that those guys are thinking too much down there and not just playing.
Anthony Coombs with that last carry gets close to 4 yards in the play.
We got Rex, Toro right, 65, W Bomber, Horseshoe Ruby, Posse, Bubble on 1, ready?
Prior to that last series starting, the Lions had a time of possession advantage of almost 10 minutes so far. They've had the ball the entire half, but so far to go on every possession. Evans now looks on the right side for Braylon Addison. Aaron Grimes there to break it up.
That's pretty tight coverage there by Aaron Grimes. I don't know if he can get any tighter. And just running a corner route, and it takes a while for it to develop. Dane Evans looking over there the whole time. Well, that's just beautiful coverage here by Aaron Grimes on Braylon Addison.
2 straight 2-and-outs for the Ticats as Lirim Haralahu gets set to punt.
That's Idaho covering Oregon.
Good punt by Haralahu, takes Langford back to his own 23-yard line. Looks like he's got some room on the right side. A good return by Langford, who is still going.
He's got
one man to beat, but he comes back inside, and he is brought down on the play. It looked like David Dean, who made the tackle and saved the touchdown.
Yeah, just give this guy any type of space, and it's usually to the house. And tremendous effort by the coverage unit here late, drawing back into the play.
That was Brian Jones with the tackle on the play. It was a 52-yard punt and a 47-yard return, so the Lions net out pretty well there.
Yeah, biggest receiver for the Ticats in coverage there, 6'4" from Acadia, 50-year player, getting her done.
380. 380, hut.
Let's see if the Lions can convert this time. Riley steps up into the pocket again, trips and goes down. Thought he was going to get through. Instead, they'll score that as the 5th sack of the first half.
Jacarrett Davis gets his 8th of the season. Probably the easiest one he'll ever get, and he's just kind of doing a makeshift celebration there because he knows he didn't deserve that one.
Loss of 2, a little sheepish on the play, as you say.
Hauser coming out, flushing him. Dylan Wynn flushing him to his right.
Here we go.
Riley loses his footing right into Jacarrett Davis, and then the posse's there late.
I'm not sure if he tripped over his own lineman to start or if the turf monster got him. Either way.
He's just tired, man. Tired of getting, he's beat down.
330.
2nd and 12.
330, hut.
And the draw play this time to Moore. Not much doing there. And he is brought down on the play. That time, David Dean.
Yeah. And, I mean, I think they were in the playbook there anticipating that. Defensive linemen standing up their men, just eyeballing the running back, anticipating the draw, and that's exactly what they get. Just watch the motion. Just watch right here. Watch how they just kind of like eyeball the quarterback and the running back, and they stand people up and get off your block, get there.
This time Castillo with a 47-yard field goal attempt. Lions with some action in the backfield, possibly an onside kick, but not really set up for it there now. And Castillo's punt is wide to the left. Speedy Banks with the return. He's had a lot of success on this so far this year. 1 penalty flag on the play and some good coverage by the Lions. Banks brought down at about his own 13-yard line. And that takes us to our 3-minute whistle. Hamilton finally with the long field to go. Lions with a 3-0 lead, but they don't feel good about it. The panel should have some fun with this one at halftime. A number of sacks for BC, injuries to talk about, and so much more. And the Lions, you know, you talk about that last drive when they were in good shape, and then the center misses the snap count. Those are things that you can fix. You got to get out of your own way sometimes, don't you?
Yeah, and you got to be on the same page consistently in order to turn this around.
Evans gets hit as he throws, and a great catch by Jalen Acklin, who caught it on his own bounce.
And boy, did Dane Evans eat a shot here as he's getting this ball away, and his receiver picked him up on the other end.
Bull.
They might be ruling the play incomplete now. One official just waved it off. They're getting together to see what the actual call was here.
Bull. Listen. It's going to be Bull Tarzan, 92 Oakland. Hey, it's Bull Tarzan, 92 Oakland. Make sure you report. Yeah,
Yeah, to me it looks like the ball does touch the ground right there, but it looks like he had secured it, so this could be a tough one.
Yeah, and the ball can touch the ground as long as it's in possession.
And it looks like it is in possession.
Ruling on the field that is that the player was down with contact at the 25-yard line. It will be first down, Hamilton.
They're not even questioning that. They're just, because he got back up and ran for another 5 or so. But he's down by contact. Right there is the hands.
Yeah, that might be worth challenging nonetheless, and it looks like Devon Claybrooks is going to do that.
Yeah, why not? Heck of a play, though, by Dane Evans as he's getting his ribs gnawed on in the end zone, and he throws the ball into tight coverage, and his receiver picks him up on the other end.
BC is challenging the ruling on the field of a completed pass. The play will be reviewed.
So what do you think? He had the ball, but if he did have possession, it might have been about 3 inches off the ground. Is that enough to say he had
but
possession?
I don't see the ball move because it does touch the ground. I see he secures it with both hands right here. And you just watch the ball, how sturdy it is in his hands there, and it doesn't move. He's like he's got possession of it. Yeah, it touched the ground, but it looks like he was possessing the football. That's tight coverage there, and just a better play on the other end.
And you can see him also pulling it in a little bit, which might play in his favor. Devon Claybrook's 8 for 9 on challenges so far this season.
Yeah, that's outstanding percentage. You can see Dane eating it right, getting toasted in the end zone. That's just a heck of a grab.
Well, and this comes down to clear and obvious. Is there enough to overturn it? You can debate the call, but on a play like that, quite often, whatever call is made by the officials is the call they're going to go with, because there just might not be enough to change it.
Yeah. Well, I love seeing these plays and these players in slow motion. Can you see the grace and the athleticism in the game?
It really stands.
Let's get down to Andre Prue for the verdict.
Let's go, D. Rule it stands.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. BC will be charged with a timeout, and they're out of challenge.
Still think it was worth the challenge for
Yeah,
Devon
I think
Claybrook.
no question.
Strong white, right? Strong white.
Here we go. Ackland is expected to get a few more touches in this game without Luke Tasker in the lineup. Tasker on the one-game injured list. Cameron Marshall with the carry. Stiff arms the first tackler. Swipes away the second, and a great run for Cameron Marshall before being pushed out of bounds by Malik Harris at the 50-yard line. 25-yard gain for Marshall on the play.
Yeah, and that train took a while to get rolling, but once it did, going downhill, Cameron Marshall picked up a head of steam and was off to the races.
Bull Tarzan, 92
Back-to-back plays over 20 yards for the Ticats, and they get out of a deep hole. As easy as that.
Yeah. Heck of a grab and a nice run. Double tights here.
Handoff again to Marshall. And he runs into Junior Luke. Actually, that's Claudel Lewis on the play. Manages to fight off a block and make the tackle after a gain of about 3 yards.
Sometimes you got a beautiful hole you can just knife through, and sometimes you got to make your own. And Claudel Lewis, second-year player from Fresno State, says you got to make your own.
W nudge six.
Lewis got back into the lineup after Devon Coleman got traded to Toronto in exchange for Sean Lemon. That was a new life for Lewis. And a great interception by Gary Peters, who steps in front of that pass, pulls it in, and the Lions take over in good field position.
And this is the young quarterback staring down his route, and Gary Peters, third-year player from Clemson, gets his first interception of the year, third of his career. And a big play for the BC Lions. Just stared that down, and Peters played a play the whole time. Just stepped right in front of Speedy B. There's a good look at the young Dane Evans staring that down and how cloudy it was. And
spread right 61W.
making 3 on the career for Gary Peters.
Isaiah Guzalak-Messam also there for BC. As you mentioned, cloudy. He threw it into a fairly tight window. Each team with an interception now.
390. 390 hunt.
Ticats showing blitz. Riley gets it out, and it is caught. That time Shaq Johnson with the reception, gain of about 5. But Riley basically throws it right where the blitz was coming from, which is how you teach it up, Matty.
Yeah, and I think if you heard that at home, the punishment that Mike took after delivering that football on the hot route sounded like a car collision.
Yeah, here we go. Gold left tight, yo-yo. Fake 70 solid. Z&W cross, X post, Y flat, alpha, alpha, ready? Yeah.
Yeah, it just tells everybody, every one of his receivers and his running back what their responsibilities are. That's what seems to be the
390.
Way to go in the CFL now.
Riley 8 for 9, this time the fake to Moore. Riley looking down the right to Brian Burnham, almost intercepted by Simone Lawrence. That pass just hung up there a little long.
Oh, Simone was underneath it. And Bob, he's got 2 interceptions on the season already. 10 career. And he almost had his 11th right there on a nice play. 21, getting deep under coverage. And Brian Burnham can't believe it.
Burnham was open.
Yeah, ball just didn't get there.
Had to come back to the football, and just the second incompletion of the game for Mike Riley, who's thrown for 141 yards in this first half so far.
So the turnover does help the BC Lions.
And did we get another turnover on the play here? Frankie Williams on the punt return. I believe it was messing with the tackle.
Let's take another look at that far end. Frankie, that ball looks a little loose in his hands right there, if you're asking me. And he pulls that out.
But the Lions don't have a challenge.
Yeah, so we're playing on.
That very well could have been.
Look, Odell's trying to plead for the official to look at it, but they better stop looking into the skies and start playing some defense here.
Lions don't have a challenge left because of that last play. BC is going offside.
Odell's trying to give his coach an opportunity to look at it, but
I don't think
his coach doesn't have a challenge, and Odell just cost the team 5 yards.
BC, number 11. This is a 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Yeah, we get what he's trying to do. He's trying to give his coach an opportunity to throw a challenge flag and look at it again as he's looking up at the big screen here at BC Place, and Odell doesn't realize that they burned everything that they had to offer. And easy 5 yards for Hamilton.
Go! Ready, side!
1st and 5 for Evans, who drops back to pass, looks to the right to Anthony Coombs, and he is tackled on the play by Gary Peters before he picks up first down yardage.
Yeah, I expect Anthony to make a better play on that football once he's caught it, turn it up, and he kind of got stuck in the mud, and Gary Peters comes up and makes a tackle and forcing 2nd and short.
Coombs comes into this game with 179 career receptions.
Flank left, 93.
As you mentioned, his previous 5 years in Toronto, he was a slot back primarily. That last play, he did his job coming out of the backfield.
Yeah, he was the next coming of Andre Dury, who was just a phenomenal multi-purpose back / receiver for the Argonauts for well over a decade.
Tiger.
Cameron Marshall with plenty of yardage for the first down, gets up to the 40-yard line. As we're well into the final minute of this first half. 47 seconds to go.
First half or bottom of 4.
Got an injury on the play. Looks like Gary Peters, the man shaken up. And there actually has been more offense, more good play in this game than a 3-point game would suggest now.
Yeah.
Bill corner. Yep.
Mike Riley's continuing to get punished. And they've had terrible field position all but for one on that last turnover on the interception thrown by Dane Evans and Gary Peters, who got his 3rd of his career, who's down on the field now. And they squandered that opportunity.
This is our game.
Peters back up, walks off. Doesn't look like anything too serious.
Straight, 3-5. Strong dog straight, 3-5.
That's good to see.
Hey, come on. Let's go to play now. Calm down.
And you hear a defensive play call by Devon Claybrooks, who's gotten a lot more involved in recent weeks with the day-to-day defensive work, with the in-game play calling.
Yeah. I heard him say that they got caught anticipating some veteran players understanding how to do certain things, but what they have to learn is how to do it the BC Lions way and Devon Claybrooks way.
So Preston Butler goes to the boundary, and Anthony Thompson comes into the field side corner. We've got a completion by Banks. Thompson pushes him out of bounds at midfield.
Say field side corner is a field side out route, and Speedy B and he's right here. He's just going to run up here and he's going to sit out here and watch how far Dane Evans has to sling this ball. I mean, it's a guy just coming to the ball game. Thompson, he does a center field turn, respecting the speed of Speedy Banks.
Evans back to pass again, steps up into the pocket. Has a receiver over the middle at Braylon Addison with the catch, brought down by a trio of Lions at the 40, and the Ticats are on the move, their best field position, and we've got a late penalty flag at the end of this play. The way Brandon Dozier's reacting, it might be against him.
Free safety for the BC Lions, heck of a football player. Hot on the collar about something.
Who's the flag on? Come on, we gotta be smarter than that.
You hear Dane
we gotta
Evans.
be smarter than that.
After the play, major foul, unnecessary roughness, Hamilton number 63, a 15-yard penalty, and a first down.
That's Kelvin Palmer, the former BC Lion, with the penalty there. Orlando Steinauer won't like that, Matt.
No, it's undisciplined at this point with 20 seconds left in the half. Looks like he just took points off the board unless Dane can make something happen here and get a big chunk. Yeah, he's a little hot because Dozier hit him when he was down, and he gets called for it because he's second man in.
Dozier fortunate on the play. That ball deflected as well, almost intercepted by Malik Harris, who had an interception against Hamilton 2 weeks ago.
That ball was tipped and deflected back into Harris. And I don't think he was anticipating it. But watch, I'm not sure who gets it, but it's tipped right there.
David Menard with the interception.
6-year player from Montreal getting her done. Hands up, can't get to the quarterback, get your hands up.
Menard just got brought back to BC a week ago and has made a pretty noticeable difference in the 2 games that he's played. A very active player.
Yeah, he's been active, I believe, his entire career. I've loved him as a defensive player. He'd do a lot of things for you as well.
This time a completion again to Addison. Looks like Butler makes the tackle, maybe a bit short of the first down. Very close on the play. It looks like Hamilton is going to attempt the field goal right now, though.
Yeah, this be a 52-yarder.
You want right?
Yeah. I think that's first down.
Hey, here we go.
They're marking it short.
Swing right, field goal.
They signaled inches to go.
I mean, it's on the white line.
52-yard field goal attempt for Liram Haralahu.
This is a scary moment for your field goal unit because they got Ryan Langford waiting in the back of the end zone.
Looks like the kick has got the distance, and it's good. Liram Haralahu with his 24th field goal of the season, and the Hamilton Ticats tie this game up at 3 on the final play of the first half. We're going to the panel after this. It is the Lions 3, the Ticats 3 here at BC Place.
I'll jump on this side of you so you can take off. All right. Mike, clearly not a lot of points on the board. However, this offense was able to move the ball quite a bit in that first half. Do you take positives out of that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, when we're starting drives out, we're moving the ball pretty decent. We just got to finish them.
What's the key to put more points on the board in the second half for you guys?
I mean, yeah, finishing drives once we get down fringe red zone, 30, 40-yard line. We got to have our heads screwed on. Can't have mental errors. We got to execute the plays.
Thanks for this.
Yep, thank you.
Thanks, Coach. Coach O, coming out of the dressing room, obviously you look very positive with your players. Can you talk a little bit about the attitude coming out after scoring just 3 points in that first half?
Yeah, we're just focused on a positive mindset right now. We're just, obviously we can play a lot better. We left some points out there. Got to play a little bit cleaner and got to stay on the field a little bit longer. So it's a great football game, and let's see what happens.
What are the keys for your offense to stay on the field just a little bit longer? I believe it was just over 10 minutes on the field in that first half.
Yeah, I mean, it's a keen sense of the obvious here. You got to sustain drives. And we got to do more, a little bit more on first down, stay out of the second and long when we can. And other than that, we just got to find a way to get one more point than they have.
Thanks for this.
Thank you.
Offense, but not very many points. BC looking for its first home win of the season, but Orlando Steinauer's team will have something to say about that. Let's check in with Jermaine Franklin and the Ticats head coach.
Coach O, coming out of the dressing room, obviously you look very positive with your players. Can you talk a little bit about the attitude coming out after scoring just 3 points in that first half?
Yeah, we're just focused on a positive mindset right now. We're just, obviously we can play a lot better. We left some points out there. Got to play a little bit cleaner and got to stay on the field a little bit longer. So it's a great football game, and let's see what happens.
What are the keys for your offense to stay on the field just a little bit longer? I believe it was just over 10 minutes on the field in that first half.
Yeah, I mean, it's a keen sense of the obvious here. You got to sustain drives. And we got to do more, a little bit more on first down, stay out of the second and long when we can. And other than that, we just got to find a way to get one more point than they have.
Thanks for this.
Thank you.
We said in the first half the Lions can't get out of their own way. Ryan Langford just ran into Javon Catoy, gets stopped at the 25-yard line. And if you're Orlando Steinauer, you probably figure we can't play much worse offensively, but here we are, 3-3.
Yeah, and you saw the resiliency of the club. He said we got to play a little cleaner, sustain some drives because they got.
I don't care if they won.
Time of possession was
5-R.
Clearly in Mike Riley, the BC Lions offense favor.
Here we go. We got still bunch right, R fly. 92 bend, Z slip Leo, Y edge, Alpha Alpha. Ready? 92 bend.
Alpha Alpha probably tells us it's going on one this time. Matt.
No, Philip Norman knows that now.
The handoff or the fake to Wayne Moore. Got me on the fake. Shaq Johnson with the catch and
he just
stumbles
got
out of bounds.
He
got me. It's a good fake.
Yeah, that's solid when he can get a play-by-play. That was well done.
Well, see, that's my coach's hat because I always tell the quarterbacks I coach, one fake is worth 2 blocks.
Here we go. Here we go.
That's
all right, doubles right tight. W fly. 99 stone. X Casper Rodney. Alpha Alpha. Ready?
Well, I like Mike Riley's halftime interview with Jermaine Franklin. Short and to the point, and pissed off.
Yeah, you can tell he's not happy.
380. 380 hut.
Burnham in motion to the right. This time they do hand it off to Wayne Moore. Moore fights, but not close to the first down. Still 2 to go, maybe a little more.
Yeah, we saw him go for it several times, and twice anyways, and backed up further than this, but this is just a little bit too far.
Yeah, good decision here to punt it.
Well, are they? 1-8, playing at home, trying to get their first win here. Next 6 of the next 9 are here and trying to make some magic happen. See what they do.
And you heard Orlando Steinauer talking to Frankie Williams about how he wants him to secure the ball because of the fumble that didn't get called late in the second quarter there. Bartell with another end-over-end kick. And no yards on the play. That was close. But the flag did come out. Williams dropped the ball, but no harm done with the flag and his own recovery.
Tiger 27. Tiger 27, you're done.
Dane got in a little bit of rhythm there at the end of the half. Only 9 of 18.
Hey, here we go. Shark alert.
Free 15 yards in the play thanks to the no yards.
If you look at this, though.
Shark alert. Shark alert. We got trips right. 51 Trident, F shark, Y smack on 1. Ready? Trident.
Yeah. Come on.
Go. Ready. Ready.
Hamilton again with good field position. Evans looks to his left first, then the screen back to the right, which goes incomplete. Good pressure on the play by Sean Lemon that time.
He got destroyed. Lemon just destroyed him. Top of the line right here, and he's going to come in on a screen. Quarterback trying to draw him in. Don't have to draw him in. He's coming to eat your lunch. He got up pretty high with that hit, too. Lost many a teeth that way.
Chief, quiet return on 1, ready? Chief, go! Ready?
Hamilton with their best starting field position, but it's been good throughout. Evans on 2nd and 10 finds Ackland, breaks the first tackle before getting blown up. Chris Edwards with the tackle, and he looks at the Hamilton bench and lets them know about it. Lions force a 2-0.
You're good, you're good.
Yeah, and this is just understanding the sticks down and distance, and right defense is called, forcing quarterback to check down underneath, and Dane Evans does.
Then he goes and talks to our good friend Jim Barker on the sideline.
I'll just leave that one there.
Aralahu on the punt. Langford settles under it at his own 18-yard line. Looking for a seam, not much there. Good coverage by the Ticats on the play.
Puck returner is Ryan Langford.
Lions come back on their field for their first drive of the second half with the game tied at 3. Halftime today at BC Place, it was two of the greatest receivers ever to wear orange and black getting honored into the Wall of Fame. Geroy Simon and Darren Flutie. Flutie with that iconic reception back in 1994 in the West Final. And Geroy, who retired as the all-time leading receiver in the CFL in virtually every category, is down with Jermaine Franklin.
Thank you very much, Farhan. Geroy, what does it mean to you to be inducted into the Wall of Fame here in BC along with Darren Flutie?
This is kind of the icing on the cake. You know, we've had great careers, and it's great to go in with such a storied guy like Darren. He was a guy that I looked up to when I first came into the league, and coming here to BC, I wanted to break some of his records. So it's definitely something it's a special moment.
Full credit to Ticats head coach Orlando Steinhauer for this question. He said when he played against you, you were in Winnipeg, you were an outside receiver, and he said, man, this guy could be good. I hope he never moves to the inside. Well, you did when you came to BC. What did that mean for you in your career?
It was great because, you know, the closer you get to the ball, the more balls you get. So, you know, they saw something in me to give me an opportunity to move closer to the quarterback, and you know, ended up catching a lot of balls. So it was great. I mean, I couldn't have did it without my teammates. You know, I had some great guys, some great quarterbacks, Dave Dickinson, Jarius Jackson, Travis Lulay, a lot of really good quarterbacks.
You made the Superman pose famous, and you truly were Superman on the field. Thanks for that.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. You know, back then they used to say Geroy Simon ran a 4.6 when he ran a 40, but when he had the ball in his hands in the open field, it might have been a 4.4 or less, Matt.
A lot of DBs that agree with you. Far end, he never got caught from behind. I guarantee that. And when I saw these two guys, they made the announcement a couple weeks ago, and I just simply said I would have loved to have the opportunity to have Geroy Simon and Darren Flutie in my huddle. Simple play calls. Geroy go along and Darren get the F open, right? And it's just simple as that.
Yeah, he certainly made a habit, both men did, of getting open all day. And Geroy able to really cap off his career in pretty fine style with the 2 touchdowns in the Grey Cup in Saskatchewan as well.
Yeah, that was special. Albeit another team, but that was special that we went out in style like that.
That offside, my friend, might be hard to miss right there. David Dean jumps the count by quite a bit. Was he drawn off?
He's saying he was. Book. He's pleading his case.
Book, you got to hold your water, man.
They often do. Looks like eye in the sky's going to make sure we get this one right.
At worst, it's offsetting, yeah.
After a tough one earlier in the game that appeared to be offside, or at least the Lions certainly thought it would, that led to an interception in the end zone by Rico Murray.
It's going to be offsetting.
Offsetting penalties right there. David Foucault with the call on BC's end. David Dean with the penalty on Hamilton's end. So we'll do it over again.
Red left, zip in, 61, Z underbucks, X-Rater cop S wide, alpha alpha, ready? 51 with the wide. Yeah. Here we go, alpha.
Lines with 2nd and 9.
380! 380, hunt!
Riley drops back to pass. Leonard blitzes late. Riley scrambles. Ball is deflected and falls incomplete.
Well, that was gold. Mike Riley feeling like the officials missed a hands to the face call here. Right there. He's right. Richard Leonard comes in there late and grabs his face mask, and Mike's pleading his case, but the officials didn't see it.
Yeah, and on those plays, you expect the officials to get it. BC certainly doesn't have any challenges left. They motion some players deep for an
onside situation.
Yeah, possible onside here. And a fake. The end around to Ryan Langford, who's doesn't have much room at all. He's going to get stacked up, and Hamilton will take over. Great reaction by the Ticats.
I can't believe I just witnessed that.
Lions trying to pull out all the stops. They send everybody left, run the fake back to the right. Hamilton not fooled at all. Meanwhile, Mike Riley not happy about the extra action he's been dealing with as Hamilton takes over with great field position. The Ticats with tremendous field position right now at BC's 38 after that fake punt that really went nowhere by Ryan Langford. And if you're Orlando Steinauer, we talked about it before, you weather the punch, and here you are in the second half with a chance to take a lead here.
Go! Ready!
Yeah, I'll take this field position any day.
Hand off to Cameron Marshall. BC all over that one in the backfield. That's Claudel Lewis with the tackle for loss. Chris Edwards also in on the play.
Yeah, he came up there and set the edge and made the big running back stop dead in his tracks.
We got Toro left, fake 60, cutter, Kansas City, keep flat on one, ready?
Cutter.
Second and long now for Hamilton.
Go. Ready.
Now back at the 42-yard line after a loss of 4 on the play. Evans has time to throw and delivers a strike. That is Jalen Acklin with the reception inside BC's 20-yard line. Hamilton knocking on the door.
Absolutely love this route. He's just going to run a post, baby. And you're going to see the strong arm of Evans just stick it in there.
Great protection. Gave him all sorts of time to step up and deliver the football. And Hamilton in no huddle now.
Got it. Hurry, go.
The handoff to Anthony Coombs breaks the first wave of tackles before being brought down after a gain of about 5. Kevin Haynes in on the tackle along with Malik Harris for BC.
Trips left, Rojo, trips left.
Plenty of time here on the clock. 22nd clock just now started. He's really setting the pace here now, trying to change the momentum of this football game, take advantage of good field position.
31, D.
Looked like Chris Edwards was going to blitz. Hamilton's audibled here, but he's coming again. The pass this time complete to Braylon Addison. Should have the first down.
As he checked to it as well, because he saw that Thompson was coming, he checked out of it and sits Braylon Addison right down in the hole where he came from, as we talked about in the first half. And Brandon Dozier's got to come up and lay a hit on him, but it's too late. They picked up the first down.
Hamilton now first and goal from the 6-yard line. The best field position by either team, or the deepest penetration by either team. We'll see if the Ticats can convert and give us our first touchdown here. And red zone has been an issue for Hamilton all season long. This time the handoff to Cameron Marshall. BC stacks it up, but he fights forward to about the 1-yard line. We're waiting for a signal. No touchdown on the play. They're calling him down at the 1 after a gain of 5.
Yeah, he's coming right downhill. You heard quarterback Sal bring it back to you. I mean, he's going to come back to the running back and give it to him, give him plenty of vision.
And BC trying to get 3 players on the field for a substitution. They can't get it. The quarterback sneak, and it looks like Evans is stopped. But you saw the no-huddle situation. BC was trying to get in their short yardage defense with 3 defenders. They got sent off the field. The Lions were almost lucky. They didn't take it too many men in the field penalty. Malik Harris with the tackle coming off the edge.
And we know points are hard to come by in this ball game, and a whole lot of substitution going on now. Dane Evans comes off the football field. David Watford goes on out there, and
both teams now with their short yardage package. The Lions get a late substitution off the field, or they would have had too many. Watford is a guy that likes to sweep to one side or the other on sneaks generally. This time straight up the middle. Is he in?
yeah.
Touchdown, Hamilton. David Watford, delayed signal, but they gave him the touchdown.
Now some extracurriculars going on down there. Heck of an effort by both sides there. Watford initially stopped right off the right side. Checked out the left side. Gets pushed back to the right side. Continues to turn his legs and gets the ball over right there.
Here's the better look from the sideline. They certainly did stop his initial push, but right there, you can see the helmet gets across, and that's a touchdown. No way
After the
around
play,
that.
major foul, unnecessary roughness. Hamilton, number 84. A 15-yard penalty will be enforced on a kickoff.
Nikola Kalinic.
The foul was against Hamilton, number 80.
That was for you.
Jalen
Girl, you know I
Ackland.
love you. My homeboys, you know what it is.
Jalen Ackland with the penalty that will be enforced in the kickoff, but a heck of a second effort by David Watford.
Yeah, it was. And the entire offensive line just moving it and keep turning. That's a tough yard to get out there, and they got the job done and tight ball game.
Arlahu on to attempt the point after. And it's good. The Ticats with the first touchdown of the game. They lead 10-7. It is David Watford fighting and fighting. Eventually crosses the goal line for the first touchdown of the game. Hamilton to kick off from their own 20-yard line after that unnecessary roughness penalty. We'll see what kind of field position BC can get, and if they can take advantage. Hamilton certainly took advantage of that field goal, the fake punt, I should say, which didn't work out at all for the Lions. It's Deron Carter back on the kickoff return. Good coverage on the play by Hamilton.
Yeah, we'll go back and look at these two plays. 2nd and 1 down the goal line for the Hamilton Ticats. You watch right here at Kalinic here and TJ Lee are going at it. That's York and Eastern Washington going at it in a big way. No flags there. 3rd and 1, number 80. Ackland comes over to Edwards, gives him a little head pop, and you can't taunt players like that. And he gets called right in front of the official. And now BC's got decent field position, something they desperately need.
30.
See if the Lions can respond after that first touchdown of the game. Riley with the short pass out to Javon Couture on the left side, breaks a couple of tackles, and the big-bodied rookie from the Langley Rams picks up a first down gain of 15 on the play.
Yeah, and you know, you draw strength in a lot of different ways from players, and he's right here, and he's going to bubble out and he's get the ball in the area outside, which he typically does, and
got spread right wax.
Uses that big body to turn out a big first down.
Omaha, Alpha, ready? Yep.
Couture, just a physical specimen who's been starting from day one. The Lions are big fans of his. They haven't necessarily been able to get him overly involved, but he's done everything they've asked coming out of junior football. Riley steps up into the pocket, looking for an open receiver, gets it downfield to Shaq Johnson, who makes the catch. Diving catch by Shaq Johnson at the 21-yard line of Hamilton.
And Mike Riley purposely throws his ball behind his receiver and throws him open as Ackland's got basically 10 yards to work with. Johnson's got 10 yards to work with here, and Mike spots it nicely and makes a big catch.
Here we go, here we go.
Explosive
Trips left
play
tough,
that they
tango,
needed.
flex short. 51 Z hook, R sit, S wide, X SoCal, Alpha Alpha. Ready?
1 foot clearly in bounds on that play in behind Frankie
We
Williams.
gotta go. Alpha. Say hi.
Lions now with great field position themselves at the 21-yard line. 1st and 10. Riley with the reception, and that's Johnson again. Back-to-back catches for Shaq Johnson.
Yeah, it's just a curl route. Mike throws it on time. Just going to run up here, push back, and when he comes out of that break right here, ball's going to be coming right into that tight window there. Little swing, draws the coverage underneath, and Mike Riley's got a lane. He spots the ball nicely.
1st and goal for the first time tonight for the BC Lions. For all the time of possession advantage they've had such long fields to go through all the time. Here they finally get decent field position and so far taking advantage. Riley looks left, looking for Deron Carter and just overthrows him.
Yeah, and that's a good throw by Mike Riley. He throws that underneath. Deron Carter is tightly covered, and only chance he has is high and over the top, but he's running out of real estate. He's going to be coming left or right. He pushes the post.
Here we go, here we go.
Running out of room over there. Why not give the big, tall receiver a chance to make a play? Desperately needed.
Riley sitting 1 yard away from 30,000 on his career. Would have liked to have had it in style there with a touchdown. We'll see if he can get it here.
Big answering drive by the BC Lions here after Hamilton took advantage of a 3rd and long gamble.
Riley drops back to pass, looks to the right side of the end zone, and it looks like it's intercepted. Richard Leonard with a fantastic play on the sidelines, and looks like he had 1 foot in bounds instead of 30,000. It's the 2nd interception from Mike Riley in this game.
2nd on the season for Richard Leonard. 3rd-year player from Florida International. Watch this catch. One-handed, thank you very much. Get it up in there. Ooh, that is sweet. Yeah, it's a great play by Richard Leonard, and you're going to watch the route right here, but watch what happens at the top of this route as he runs this out route, or basically corner. You call it what you want to, but he frees it right there, and look at the distance right there between the deep defender and the receiver. Defender never has to flip his hips. He just undercuts a long throw and makes a heck of a play.
Final minute of the game in Hamilton 2 weeks ago was Leonard with the game-saving interception on a ball that was deflected by Simone Lawrence. That one saved the Ticats from giving up 7 points. Now the completion of Braylon Addison at about the 30-yard line, gain of 5 on the play. The Ticats dodge a bullet, and Mike Riley again left shaking his head.
That was all sorts of messed up. Here we go. We got quads right, fake 61, X Harvey, on it. On 1, ready? Go!
Ticats overloading one side of the field with 4. Lions showing pressure. He goes backside to Ackland, who manages to hang on despite good coverage from Gary Peters.
Yeah, backside shoulder throw, knowing that he's going to plant his outside foot and pivot on that one, and he throws a strike out there where only Ackland can make the catch. And I love his honesty in the 1st and 10 play. When he
Wyatt, Y, deuce right tight, 93 Pittsburgh, W Boomer, deep stem stock, ZD prick on 1, ready? Wyatt, Y, deep stem.
When Dane Evans just told his guys that was totally messed up. Still got 5, move the chains on the 2nd and 5 throw, and looking at 1st and 10 here.
Aaron Grimes showing blitz for the Lions. Will they finally get to Evans? Nope, he manages to get away. Throws to the sideline to Speedy Banks, and that ball is out of bounds despite a pretty difficult catch by little number 16.
Dane Evans schooling up the official, saying that he got hit in the head. Wow, and he's exactly right. I don't know what the officials are looking at on that one. Got to protect these guys. That is helmet to helmet all day long by Sean Lemon.
Let's see if we get a challenge flag. Doesn't look like Orlando.
I don't know why he wouldn't. That's
too interested.
huge.
Go!
Well, as the Lions are finding out, you got to save him. You might need him later. Evans drops back to pass. Chris Edwards steps in front and breaks it up, but we've got a penalty flag on the play. Looks like it was defensive pass interference on Edwards.
I don't know.
Hey, we'll be left middle. Should be.
Pass interference. BC number 24. This is a 10-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
Back up.
Yeah, you're going to see Chris Edwards come in the frame in a little bit. I believe he's right here. And he's going to sit down, trying to find the soft spot, but he basically runs to be covered. And I don't see a whole lot there.
Neither does Devon Claybrooks. Left arm might have got there a bit early, was certainly close.
Nobody's happy down there right now.
No.
Dane Evans wasn't happy on the first 10 play.
Rabbit, rabbit, rabbit.
Lions look like they're bringing pressure again. Cameron Marshall, the ball carrier, pushes forward for a few extra yards. Great physicality by the Hamilton running back.
That's impressive. Several times he's done that on a stingy BC Lions defense. A defense that held the Winnipeg Blue Bombers to 274 net yards last week. 17 first downs. I mean, this is a talented group. They just haven't been able to put together as a team yet this year, and we've seen that here tonight.
Hurry, go!
Evans drops back, flushed out of the pocket. Gonna keep it and go. But he is short of a first down. Sean Lemon with the tackle at the sideline. And that will take us to the end of the third quarter. Still anybody's game right now. Hamilton with a 7-3 lead on Hall of Fame night. G. Roy Simon, Darren Flutie getting inducted, and so many others trying to make a name for themselves here at BC Place. We'll be back with the fourth quarter. When these two teams played 2 weeks ago, went right down to the final moments again. It could very well do that again here tonight. Hamilton closing the gap a little bit statistically in that third quarter, Matty, but when you look at the interception in the end zone and then the fake punt earlier that went awry, that's led to a lot of points or points not given.
Yeah, and a desperate team trying to win at home, and they're trying just about everything out there. And when that happens, it can work against you. And we saw that in the third quarter for our hand as Hamilton capitalized, got touchdown drive, put points on the board finally, and then Mike Riley not getting a very good route from Lamar Durant in the end zone. Never really got the receiver out of his back pedal, and Richard Leonard made a heck of a play in the end zone, taking points off of BC. And these two teams are going at it. Stingy defenses, offensive yardage is tough to come by, and we'll see what happens here in the fourth quarter. These guys are getting hot under the collar right now, I can tell you that.
Haralahu down on that play. We'll have to take a look at what happened to him, but a pretty good play by Ryan Langford, who by just catching the ball drew a no yards penalty there on the short kick. Doesn't look like there was anybody near him, any sort of roughing the kicker or anything like that. Actually, Richard Newton pulled down a BC Lion right into Haralahu. I believe that was TJ Lee that got pulled into the kicker. Maybe a bigger body than that.
Well, you hate to see that. Maybe, hopefully it's just a minor scenario here for Liam Haralahu,
who of course does all the kicking duties for Hamilton.
JB.
Kicks off, kicks field goals and punts.
Preview. Got a fib.
23 or 26
No
field
yards.
goals this season.
Hamilton number 36, a 15-yard penalty and a first down BC.
He's walking off under his own power, which is a good sign.
Doesn't look too bad there, but we'll see what happens when they take a look at him on the sideline.
I'm betting he's going to be okay.
So are you suggesting maybe he was selling the call, Matt?
I'm just going to say I'm betting he's going to be okay.
We're good.
Yeah, the limp is pretty much gone by the time he's gotten to the sideline.
And that's
now,
a good
so.
thing. I don't care if he's faking it or if he's just trying to draw the card. I'm just glad he's all right.
Schreiner's having a quick word, but Not much more than that. Again, Riley just a yard away from 30,000, and the last time we talked about it, he threw an interception in the end zone. We'll try not to jinx him again here. Quick reception to the right side. That one to Durant again, and good enough for a yard and 30,000 for Mike Riley.
Who's he chasing? He's 17th place.
He's way behind you.
No. He's not that far behind. He's only 13,000 behind.
All right, fellas, hey.
He'll do that
We
in
got
2.5
Spokane,
years.
so week left. 361 Spokane, Alpha Alpha. Ready?
Spokane. I'm headed to Washington tomorrow. See my daughter, Madison. Looking forward to that.
361.
Mike Riley from Kennewick, which is not that far from Spokane in eastern Washington.
There it is.
390 hunt. Take 0.
Going up.
Riley looking deep for Durant, and just off his fingertips.
Ooh, damn.
Yeah, that was Frankie Williams there. Tight coverage, didn't take the bait on the move prior to getting downfield, and we know that Frankie Williams can fly, and he had no problem staying step for step with Lamar Durant.
Lamar did manage to get a hand on it, but would have been a pretty spectacular catch had he hauled it in. And Riley, who's been known to really push the ball downfield and want to throw deep, hasn't done a lot of that tonight.
Hadn't had time.
Well, and that was the point, and he had time to do it there. Frankie Williams, BC can't bring him down right there, but there isn't no yards in the play. And then he does get tackled before giving up too many more yards. But a penalty certainly coming up at the end of this, so better field position for the Tiger Cats when they come back. Dane Evans with the best start of his pro career 2 weeks ago against these BC Lions. This is his 5th start in all, taking over for the injured Jeremiah Masoli, and taking over for an injured quarterback is nothing new for Evans. Here's Jermaine Franklin with more.
Absolutely, Farhan. Dane Evans has been in this situation before, taking over the starting role after the starting quarterback goes down to injury. It was his redshirt freshman year with Tulsa. The starter went down with a knee injury. It was Cody Green, and Evans took over midway through the season. His first college start was in Mercedes-Benz Superdome, which is pretty special. Listen, it didn't go the way that he wanted. It was a 14-7 loss, and Evans had a couple of turnovers. However, he was able to bounce back. In that season, it was a tough one for Tulsa. They had just 3 wins, but by the time he was a senior, he led Tulsa to 10 wins, and it was that ability to bounce back, grow, and adjust, he believes, that put him in this situation today.
Lions are lucky he didn't throw a touchdown on that last play. He had Jones wide open down the right sideline on the double move. Gets it to Ackland instead for a sizable gain in the BC territory, but BC did dodge a bullet there, Matt.
Yeah, he couldn't see it. His vision was clouded, and so he dumped it down to Ackland, the first-year player from Western Illinois, and he did the rest.
Lions showing blitz right here, and they get to him in the backfield. A big hit by Junior Luke.
Tiger.
I believe that was Coombs with the carry, but they timed it up perfectly.
Coming off the top of your screen right here. Just going to give him a hip pointer right here. Wow.
Yeah, it was actually Chris Edwards. Luke just managed to finish it.
Yeah, finish it. They kind of high-load him 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 13 for the Ticats. BC showing pressure again. Kevin Haynes coming off the edge, and Evans wisely throws it away, and they call a roughing the passer against Haynes. Oh, they're calling it grounding
I think they're calling
against Haynes
because it never crossed the line
intentional
of scrimmage.
grounding.
There you go.
Hamilton, number 9. The ball will be placed where the ball was thrown, and it is a loss of down.
The running back was right there. The running back, it had his feet.
Top of the line, going to force the issue. Dane doesn't have time to pack a lunch. He bails on it and doesn't get across the line of scrimmage. No receiver in the area. Andre Prue's looking at the other sideline official, seeing if it did. He sees it didn't, throws the flag. Well executed by the officiating team.
Yeah, I thought it might be a late hit on the play, but clearly it wasn't there, and you're right, nobody in the area. So the Lions dodge a bullet. Haralahu back on to punt. As you suggested, he was going to be just fine, Matt.
I wasn't going to say nothing. Let that one slide.
Haralahu with a high kick. Langford takes it at its own 20. Penalty flag on the play. He goes up the left sideline for a short gain. We'll see what the call is when we come back. Dane Evans doesn't like the call. He avoids the sack. But they throw the flag anyway. BC with the ball when we return. Here's the face mask on the side of the screen. It looks like Javon Catoy there with the grab. Can't argue with that. That's definitely a face mask. And the Lions once again with a penalty on teams wind up with field position deep in their own end. They'll start at the 12-yard line.
380! 380, hunt!
Riley with the handoff to Moore, who finds some room, tries to get out of the first tackle, but doesn't do it. Gain of about 4 yards on the play.
Justin Tucker on the tackle. After he picks up 5 yards, it's 2nd and 5.
Make it 5, call it 2nd and 5.
Here we go, here we go. Beta, beta, beta. Trips right tight. 0, X slip, W field twerk, beta, beta. Ready?
Said it 4 times.
45, you're my shovel back out to the right.
Dialing everybody in.
Beta.
5 times.
Hut! Blue 80!
Oh, man. 5 times still wasn't enough.
5 times, Matt. Wow. You called it. You saw it coming. That was Suk Chung, the right guard.
That's just like, it's the simplest thing you practice ever since you started playing football in the 4th or 5th grade.
BC number 65. This is a 5-yard penalty. It remains 2nd.
And sometimes it's like herding cats.
Here we go.
Right here, gonna move.
Flush it, baby, flush it.
When you've had this kind of
all right,
lack of success and this kind of record, this is why. This is what results in those in a 1-8 record.
Alpha, alpha, ready?
Poor teams compound mistakes. Good teams do not make them back to back. And we're seeing a lot of this with the BC Lions right now. 2nd and manageable comes 2nd and long.
12 penalties for 112 yards in the play as Riley drops back to pass on 2nd and 10. Has a wide open receiver in the flat. It is Shaq Johnson with enough yardage for the first down. Riley gets hit as he throws. Slow to get up, but he's up, as he often is.
He's up and limping back towards the line of scrimmage or the huddle. And I think Frankie Williams falls down on this play, slips. Therefore, you got a wide open line out in the area outside.
1 to X, S flat, R flute, post, Y wheel, W edge, alpha, alpha, ready?
That hit on Riley right there from Dylan Wynn and company. There's no stat for that.
380! 380, hut!
But it all adds up.
There you go.
Riley rolling to his left. Throws it low and complete. Looks like Javon Catoy, the receiver on the play.
That's a heck of a play by a tall, well-built receiver getting down low like that, full stride. That's a heck of a catch.
The Lions continue to work their way out from the shadow of their own goal line. Remember, they were back at their own 5-yard line at one point on this drive.
East Jacks right,
Catoy
yes,
bobbles
R-fly, X, 75, Y delta, X fan, W Reno, S through, alpha, alpha, ready?
No challenge there. Looked like there could have been one.
You got his big mitts up underneath there.
330, hut!
Riley back to pass again, and he goes down. Jagarrett Davis, this is the first sack of this half, 6th in the game against the BC Lions quarterback.
And this is ugly. This is just a total collapse. Dylan Wynn pushing hard up the football field, and you're going to watch Jagarrett Davis, watch him push hard and take two, and then Jagarrett's going to come underneath.
Come on.
That's just good team defense. Come underneath there and get to the quarterback, find you a spot. Get nasty.
Wayne Moore couldn't handle Jagarrett Davis there.
T-check, T-check, T-check.
Well, you can almost hear it, Mike Riley's voice running out of gas.
Say hut! Blue 80! Blue 80, hut! Hut!
Riley back again. Gets the ball out in the direction of Wayne Moore. An underhand shovel prevented the second sack of the half. Riley again slow to get up, but you can say that a lot this season.
It's tough to watch, quite frankly.
Get your rest, get your ice.
So again, BC at their own 5. They work their way out, give up a sack, and it's just such a long way for this team right now with that field position. Bartel, Banks on the return, finds some room down the right sideline, and he just gets tripped up by Kevin Haynes. Great return on the play by Speedy Banks, gets to the 36-yard line. Banks hasn't done a lot in the way of punt returns this season, but whenever he gets a chance to touch the ball, he is dangerous, dangerous, dangerous. Hamilton with great field position when we come back. The Tour Championship comes to a thrilling end tomorrow as the PGA's top golfers battle to claim the FedEx Cup. Catch the final round at 1:30 p.m. Eastern, 10:30 a.m. Pacific on TSN and CTV2. Just over 8 minutes to go in this game. A swing pass to Braylon Addison finds a bit of room, but the Lions eventually close after a gain of about 7, maybe 8.
Yeah, I like this innovation. It's really nothing new, but they've got numbers. Look how many people, they got 5 receivers, they got 4 blockers, and they're gonna bump out. They're gonna bump Braylon out here. Watch this, real simple. You got numbers. You got 5 people out there, put 4 blockers out in front. BC does a nice job of rallying to the football, limiting that play. That had big potential.
And this is that time of the game. Lions trailing right now, but they're still in the game. We've seen them with their fourth quarter struggles. Can they turn the table somehow here and stay in this? Because it's usually at this time where things fall apart for the Lions.
Well, either that or the third quarter, second half for sure. Points just keep piling up in the negative column for the BC Lions as the game rolls on.
Green white, green white.
We see why. Compounding mistakes. Now their backs are up against the wall and they desperately need to stop here. Or this could be a 2-score game before you know it.
Go! Ready! Ready, done!
Second and short for the Ticats here. Sorry, 1st and 10 for the Ticats. Picked up a first down in the last play.
No, I know.
Handoff up the middle, gain of about 5.
Hey, that's only for 0.
Cameron Marshall with the carry.
Tiger!
Anthony Coombs now checks into the game for Marshall.
Hey, here we go.
Actually, Marshall stays in. It's Nikola Kalinic that now comes out.
It's good to see Nikola Kalinic back in. 6 weeks being on the IR. He's factored in a big way tonight.
Evans with the slant. That one's complete.
What?
Braylon Addison again with the reception.
Yeah, it looked like he didn't catch it clean the first time.
Yeah.
It's tough to see because it was in a tight window. A little point fake, let the back do the faking, set your feet, deliver a strike, and he does. And he doesn't catch it the first time. He's going to go down off a knee and secure the grab.
Whew, he did catch it though.
Yeah, he did. And he got a hit on that tail end because he didn't catch it cleanly the first time.
Go! Ready!
It's another first down for the Ticats who are knocking on the door. Now Kalinic, and he drops that one into the left flat. Aaron Grimes was right there to deliver a big hit.
I would have liked to see that collision because Kalinic is a big old dude. And just classic mistake of just turning your eyes upfield a little too quickly.
Here we go. Wyatt trips right. Wide
yeah, you can tell Aaron Grimes.
Ugly, X-Snack, Ruby, T-Rail, W spacing on 1, ready?
That ball got on him in a hurry. He'll learn from that.
Go!
Evans with 8 completions in his last 10 attempts on 2nd and 10. And he get his team into the end zone here. Scrambles to his right and Banks can't hang on. Lions dodge a bullet there. If 16 gets the ball in space, he's going to be a tough guy to bring down.
I mean, Clintus drops one there. Speedy B's in space. You know that's going to be a score. And those are points off the board, and you're looking for 3 here. Still going to be a 2-score game, but boy, they could have gone a long way to sealing the deal right there if they capitalized in that red zone opportunity.
Chip shot field goal attempt for Lirim Haralahu here, 19 yards.
Green 8! Green 8!
Nice snap by Crawford. Dane Evans with the hold.
And we've got a penalty flag as well after the kick.
Holding Hamilton number 77. It is a 10-yard penalty. We'll go back 10 yards and retry the field goal.
Well,
same thing.
Hamilton's offense and special teams is finishing this drive in an ugly
Hey,
fashion.
shake it off. Shake it off.
Yeah, he just reaches out and grabs Gary Peters coming off the edge and whips him down, and he's like, "Dang, kill me. How am I supposed to block too?" Got to seal the inside, and somebody's coming off the edge. And
hey, here we go.
Gets his
Swing
long
right,
arm
go,
out
no
there
right,
and pulls
go
him
right.
down, gets caught cheap.
Some interesting moments in this game, Matt. Not all of them good.
No.
I picked a good one to call after all these years.
Yeah, well,
my friend.
live Mike.
Mike.
Tough defensive battle.
Green 8!
Kick is up and good from 29 yards as Hamilton extends its lead to 5 or to 10.
This is our game now.
Four and a half minutes to go, Matt. Lions trailing by 10 now, and is this a team right now that is emotionally equipped? They say in this league, no lead is safe, but given what BC has dealt with throughout this season, is this lead safe?
Here we go. I would say no, because things changed in the last, it's 57 plus
Got a
3.
pimp
We've
in.
heard that.
Spread left to
Hey,
right, zip
stop
in.
down now.
60, ex-Oakland trade, RNZ, Alpha Alpha, ready? With a
Make
wide,
your
yeah, with a
play.
wide.
Lions on the 35-yard line, which is pretty good field position compared to what they've dealt with most of the night, but if they're going to get back into this, it's got to start now. They need points on this drive.
Ready, hunt.
Lions without a point so far through the first 26 minutes of the half, but they give up another sack, number 7 on the night.
Dylan Wynn, man, they've had enough to change the choreographing of their dances in this ball game 2 or 3 times, and they're just showboating now. He's right here. Dylan Wynn gonna get after it. I love this guy's motor, and he finishes it and slams Mike Riley into the ground. Brian Chu just frustrated as anybody being the offensive line coach and watching this debacle.
And you've got to appreciate the amount the Lions have tried to do to change this. This is a team that started the season with 4 Canadian starters along the offensive line. They've made multiple changes. They've now got just 2 Canadian starters. They felt they've upgraded.
And
but
Brian,
the results,
they're hoping that the consistency from week to week would help this line gel, and we just haven't seen it tonight. Even with Adrian Tracy hurting himself in pregame warmups, and he having to go with Hozar as a backup, and that's no knock on him because he's a spectacular player that they like in Hamilton, but they've been doing it shorthanded without Adrian Tracy, the number 1 guy coming off the edge and making it look easy all night.
yeah, he started inside, worked his way to the outside. Suk Chung lost him there, whether or not there was supposed to be a switch with the tackle. Either way, in the end, it all looked pretty easy, and Mike Riley looked pretty frustrated once again.
And it's a simple twist that they're running, an ET twist up front, and it's nothing that difficult. You work on it 24/7. Go back to and try to figure it out, put a reason why. And I can tell you that no hitting in training camp and being able to switch those things on the interior on a regular basis could be one of the reasons.
3 minutes to go, desperation time for the Lions. This was a stat the BC Lions were hoping not to look at this stage of tonight's game. 50 years ago, Matt, the last time the BC Lions dropped to 1-9 on the season, and barring a 3-minute miracle here, it could happen again.
Which could happen. But, I mean, look at the Expos in '69.
That was their first year.
Yeah.
They've since come and gone.
And this?
The Apollo landing, the Apollo 11 landing.
Gotta love that.
One small step.
I was there.
You were.
I was there. I was 9. I was 9. I was there. And my guy, Russ Jackson.
That's the third of Russ Jackson's 3 Grey Cups with Ottawa. Back in 1969, Frankie Williams with the return. A no yards penalty coming up to the Lions. And it'll be good field position for Hamilton as they try to close this out with 2:46 remaining.
And we heard a couple weeks ago.
BC number 23. This is a 15-yard penalty and a first down.
Now, excuse me, it was last week in Ottawa. Dane Evans, they won that ball game 21-7. He was mic'd up, and he said, we got to be better in this situation right here in closing out games. And I was impressed and talked about it a couple of times with his understanding of conceptualizing the game and the importance of finishing it in the last 3 minutes.
93 Indy X field, wide go.
Hamilton has not had a lot of success here at BC Place in recent years. But Evans really looking forward to the opportunity of playing on the road here in this one. Ticats have won just one of their last 7 visits to BC Place since 2012. You know, we asked Evans.
So how about this, Farhan? Officials blow the play dead. Now they're going to reset to 20. Did they put the extra time on the clock? This is nice if you're Hamilton trying to burn. You basically get another 13 seconds to burn there.
Handoff inside to Marshall. Sean Lemon with the tackle after a gain of a yard, maybe 2.
But here's the point I'm making. Dane Evans conceptualizing the fact that they got to be better last week in 21-7 win over Ottawa in the last 3 minutes. And he got another 20 seconds there and didn't use them.
We asked Evans about his favorite road game of all time, and he pointed to a game in college when he was at Tulsa back.
S-bomber, Harvey Pump, dog on 1, ready?
Back in 2015 when he faced Baker Mayfield in Oklahoma.
Oh, yeah.
Dog.
A little bit of a shootout. I understand.
Evans drops back to pass. He's looking deep.
Stick it in there.
To Ackland. Intercepted. That's Gary Peters on the play. That's his second interception of the game.
That's not conceptualizing the importance of the game and running it out and run a little double move here, and he tries to stick it in there, and well, that's Gary Peters doing a nice job of getting back there, and Dane knows it.
Not a lot of room. We talked about the double move earlier in the game when they had Mike Jones running wide open down the right sideline. Not much there. Orlando Steinauer with the challenge flag here. We'll wait and see what he's looking to challenge.
Yeah, probably on the double move and whether there's contact or there.
Hamilton is challenging the ruling on the field. They believe there was defensive pass interference under number 80 by number 4, BC. The play will be reviewed.
2:14 left. You might as well use it.
Well, yeah. And we're going to check it out. But Dane stares this down, first of all. Good look at it right here. Well, he did touch him after 5.
Orlando Steinauer 3 for 3 on challenges so far this season. Hasn't had to use many of them. So is that jab enough to take this interception away?
In my opinion, if you're asking me, no, it's not. I think that was a good play by Gary Peters, a young quarterback just staring down at the receiver and forcing one in there on 2nd and 12 when he didn't need to. Check it down in that situation and punt the football and put your team in a better spot. But he'll learn from that.
And he did it because of this.
Let's hear from Andre Proulx with the decision.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. Hamilton is charged their timeout.
And the challenge with where we saw that play is there could have been motion on the play. So you're not exactly sure where he was when the contact happened because he was coming right at Gary Peters the way we saw it.
Well, you can see how many steps Ackland took off the ball, so you knew he was over 5.
Riley, meanwhile, let's see if the Lions can protect him. He's given up 7 sacks already. At least the Lions offensive line has given up 7.
Did you see what they did? Did you see what they did there? The offensive line of the BC Lions, they cut the defenders. This is like a 3-step drop type of protection. Yeah, and they just cut them up front, and they're trying everything they can to slow down this pass rush and give Mike Riley a chance. Watch this up front.
All right, here we go.
And
blue right back 60.
If you just run it, you watch the O-line, and they just cut everybody.
Which is not something you see a lot of at this level.
No, you don't.
Now, the Lions have done this before early this season, and usually when you do it, you're really desperate.
Exactly, Farhan. Exactly.
Now they bring traditional pressure. Riley with the throw. Almost intercepted that time by Roll, and we've got a penalty flag in the backfield.
Jamal Roll defending the pass on Brown Carter.
Major foul, roughing the passer. Hamilton number 2. This is a 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Tunde Adeleke on the safety blitz on that play.
Yeah.
Here we go. Here we go.
And it's Tunde Adeleke coming in here late from depth. There he comes.
W Spud backs left. Alpha Alpha. Ready?
Yeah, it was late. It was high. It was all of it.
I'm not sure if it was high, but it was certainly late, and it was certainly violent.
It was that. And the Lions closing in on midfield with just over 2 minutes to go in this game as they trail by 10. Riley looking deep, nobody open, he checks it down to Javon Couture, who breaks another tackle, stays on his feet, and gets out of bounds after a gain of around 7 at the Hamilton 49-yard line.
Yeah, and Mike Riley, I mean, he's been hammered all night long, and watch how he just hangs in the pocket here. Listening to his old man saying, deal from the pocket, and he's dealing from it, folks. He finally checks it down to Couture. He's had a nice night of catching the ball and getting some yaks.
3.5 years, okay?
Meanwhile, Deron Carter looking for his first reception of the night, if I'm not mistaken.
Non-existent in this offense. Mind-boggling.
Handoff inside to Wayne Moore, who fights and falls forward. Is it enough for a first down?
On second down, the give
Could be just short.
Snoopy! Snoopy!
Any chance Snoopy means sneak?
Snoopy, you're on the other
Charlie
side, Bernie.
Brown.
Jax, right?
Lucy.
Snoopy, Snoopy, Snoopy. You're on the ball. You're on the ball, Vern.
Man, he's having to tell him what to do.
Wait till I start the corner, and then you're going to the left, yeah?
It's
In a third and short situation. That's not a good sign.
On the hustle, Phil, on the hustle.
Riley gets up under center.
Quick snap it.
Who's that?
All right, you've been taking a pounding all night long, and they don't even send in the backup quarterback to do third and ones. You got to do it yourself.
Minnesota! Minnesota!
Yeah, he got hit hard early.
Minnesota, 560. 560.
Then managed to slide through for the first down.
I'm good. Just toss it. Toss it.
David Dean has to come out of the game. Not sure if there's an injury there.
I think Danny O'Brien's just fine with that, too, by the way.
I think you're right.
On the hustle, on the hustle. Hurry, son.
Riley drops back to pass.
There he is.
Oh, and a big hit in the middle of the field on Deron Carter.
Tunde Adeleke.
Major foul, roughing the passer.
Here we go again.
Hamilton number 95, a low contact on the quarterback. This is a 15-yard penalty and a first down.
Wow, a big hit across the middle of the field right here.
Oh, my God. Hauser, Julian Hauser, he's coming off the edge, and he rolls into Mike Riley. I'm not sure. He's right here, and watch him coming to Riley late. This is the first violent hit. Nice little move there. And then at the other end, it got even uglier. Tunde Adeleke said hello to Deron Carter. Snaps his helmet. Dislodges the ball, needless to say.
Here we go. Gotta go.
Ball was gone before Adeleke got there. Riley drops back to pass now again. Pressure again, and a completion over the middle. This time it's Lamar Durant with the catch at about the 22-yard line. The Lions need to hurry. There's only 1:23 left in this game, and they're down 2 scores.
Well, Hamilton's been their own worst enemy. A couple of penalties on this drive, sustaining the drive for the Lions.
361 with the wide. On the hustle. Gotta go, gotta go.
Got that right.
Hurry, son.
Ticats bring pressure. The pass to Brian Burnham on the left side. Complete for a first down at the 16-yard line.
Haven't heard his name very often.
Indiana.
You could certainly see the Ticats have made number 16 a priority.
560.
Player down on the field.
Huddle.
Mike recognized
Huddle.
that. You hear him gathering the troops. Going to get him straight as they tend to the player.
Yeah.
That's Carriel Brooks.
Okay. Tell him to give me the call.
Injured player at halfback. We'll see if Riley on the next play tries to attack that part of the field.
Yeah, and Carriel Brooks down earlier in the season. They found ways to win without him, and that was just Brian Burnham's second catch on the night. Big playmaker.
Tommy, they got one timeout.
Kept in check for most of the night. Came up big on second down situation.
Huddle.
Mike Daly coming into the game.
The clock is going to start when he blows it in. So we got to be up there and ready to go, all right? It's going to be a fib. Z Frisco, S Reno, Alpha, ready? Check. Here we go, Hamilton, here we go. Gotta go.
Justin Tuggle late getting onto the field here. Adeleke has to move to the half with Daly at center. Riley snaps the ball fast, looks to his left. Scrambles to his right, nobody open right now. And Riley just throwing it away. Johnson came open a bit late, but well late into the play, and Riley wisely throws it out of bounds.
Yeah, and all those hits and all those hurries, and all those sacks on Riley, he's really digging deep right now, trying to find a way to put his team in the end zone.
R to quads right yaks, 60, X bingo split, R Robin, Y Omaha, Alpha, ready? Yeah.
That's when you wish you just had a name call and not have to give everybody their play call.
Run! 380, Hunt!
Lions with 4 to the right. Riley with pressure
Off
again.
his
Has
back
a man
foot.
wide open in the flat. That's Katoy. We'll see if he can get the first down. He's close.
I don't think he realized where he was in the football field. He didn't get the first down.
I think you're right.
And he had an opportunity to, and he went sideways as opposed to north and south. And that'll be a coachable moment tomorrow.
Snoopy, yes you are.
Just takes more time off the clock.
Looks like another sneak coming up.
On the hustle, coming in. Who's Hunt?
He can barely talk.
Well, you're right. I mean, just the physical and emotional fatigue in Mike Riley's voice is very evident.
And just not tonight. It's just adding up. And I can tell you, being in that situation, and this is a seasoned vet. Now, I was in that situation when I was trying to figure out the game like Dane Evans. This guy is having to deal with the emotional stress of getting pounded out there on a weekly basis.
Lion.
And the frustration.
360. On the hustle.
The Lions score here and follow up with the onside kick.
Gotta go.
First and goal.
Here we go. Hurry, Hunt.
Hamilton bringing pressure. The ball is deflected up in the air, almost intercepted by Simone Lawrence, but it falls incomplete. Second down for BC, just 36 seconds to go.
That's similar to how the game ended 2 weeks ago with a batted ball in the air. And I believe it was Richard Leonard coming up with the interception to seal the game, 35-34 2 weeks ago.
Spread left, slide in.
Looked like he was going for Deron Carter there.
Ready? 3 to the flat, Wayne, 3 to the flat.
36 seconds on the clock.
Here we go.
Need a Montreal-Calgary finish.
Hunt. 380, Hunt.
Ticats with more pressure again. Riley gets it off. Back shoulder to Brian Burnham for the touchdown. The Lions still have life. 31 seconds remaining. BC can cut the lead to 3.
Doing it when you need it. Brian Burnham saying hello. 2 catches on his drive. Touchdown catch there. Mike Riley standing in the pocket, delivering the back shoulder throw. Looks left, fires right with somebody in his face, throws a strike to 1-6. Got a chance.
Burnham with a huge game against Hamilton 2 weeks ago. He had 7 receptions for 149 yards and 2 touchdowns in that game. Currently 5th in the league in receiving yardage, over the 700-yard mark tonight. And the Lions look to cut it to 3 and come to within a field goal with 31 seconds to go. Sergio Castilla on to attempt the extra point. Castillo's kick is up, and it's good.
7 points off that turnover right there for the BC Lions. Getting them right back in this ball game, running out of time.
And special teams, which has been such a problem for the Lions all season, can they execute here on the onside kick when they need it most?
That was fun to watch last week when Montreal got it done. That was a brilliant kick. Great catch by Eugene Lewis, securing the rock, forcing overtime with a field goal, and they got it done in double overtime, and that's what BC's hoping for right now.
This is the 4th time this season the Lions have played a team for the 2nd time, and the first 3 have not gone well. They have been outscored 110-40 in those games. The 3rd one was somewhat close. The first 2 were absolute blowouts. This one close here. But, you know, the question is, in terms of this team and the staff's ability to make adjustments from game to game, Matt.
Yeah, and you got a young staff, some great ball players, young in the coaching department, and they're trying to figure it out. And those numbers would state that that's the case, that they're not able to at this point as well as the opposition.
You mentioned that Montreal game, how well that onside kick was executed late. Do the Lions have it? They almost had a chance there, but Hamilton has it now, and it looks like Mike Daly, I believe, is the Ticat who wound up recovering it. Lions had a chance when it went up in the air.
Yeah, I think it was a great kick. Sergio just pounds in the ground, takes a great hop. It hits Lamar Durant in the back left shoulder. Daly comes up with the ball. That's really close right there.
And you can see Jackson Bennett, his job is not to catch the ball. His job
is to clear the way.
Yeah, it's to take players out, and he certainly did that with Lamar Durant, who didn't really have a chance at it, and then he was knocked into Brian Burnham, and that's it. Hamilton Tiger Cats with 29 seconds left should be able to close this one out.
And Hamilton finds a way to win on the road. Place where they've struggled here.
We mentioned it before, the Ticats, if they hang on to win here, would sweep BC for the first time in 2011. It's also would be their 2nd victory in the last 8 years here in BC, and those 2 wins would come by a combined 4 points, just the way things have gone for the Lions this season.
Hey, we got the flag. Hey, we got the flag.
Looks like this penalty is going to go against the BC Lions. And there was some of this 2 weeks ago as well. There was a play late. Braylon Addison talked to us about it during the kneel-out portion of that game where they felt BC got a little too aggressive. They've talked about that this week, and that's been a bit of a motivator. That stuck with them.
Yeah, and he was hoping that they didn't come to that, but, you know, it's got heated here in the latter part of the game, and it's a big win for Hamilton. 1-6 here in the last 7 games. Last time they won here was September 22nd, 2017, when Sergio Castillo, kicker for BC, was kicking for Hamilton, had a game-winning field goal.
And I expect the Ticats will decline this penalty so that the clock can keep running.
Yes.
Whereas if they accept it, then the clock's going to stop.
On the previous play, we had a major foul against BC. That penalty will be declined, and BC called timeout on the play. It's good.
So either way, BC takes their 1 timeout. So they're not going to be able to call one on 3rd down if it gets to that point. Chris Van Zyl.
Well, no, what you do here is I think you run a play. It'll take 4 seconds if you can do that, because the play's not going to start until the ball is snapped, and then you'll be able to run it out on the 3rd down scenario.
Lions will drop to 1-9 for the first time in 50 years, Matt.
Right. Hey, Jack. Hey.
That's not good.
Yes.
Another 5 of the last 8 games are played here at BC Place.
We got it. We got it.
That's all they need. That's all. Dane, you hear Dane Evans say, "We got
I
it."
got it. Snap it. Stand for a second, then go down. I know.
He's figuring it out on the fly.
Listen. Hey, huddle up. Bull. Listen. Bull. Report. Make sure you report.
Dane Evans taking charge in the huddle because you can tell these two teams still want to talk to each other a little bit right now.
Yeah, he's just stressing the importance of staying focused here and not letting anybody in. He's got to stand there, he feels, for a second, and then take a knee to get a much-needed win here on the road for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. It's been a long time coming.
And the Hamilton Tiger Cats improved to 8-2 through 10 weeks with a 13-10 win over the BC Lions. And from Orlando Steinauer's perspective, he doesn't care what it looks like. It doesn't need to be a Picasso. He just wants to win right now, especially when you come on the road and play out west.
Yeah, we talked about winning ugly. Last week it was kind of that way in Ottawa, 21-7. Now come out here to BC. It was a tough place to win. I don't care where yet, particularly coming from the east with the 3-hour delay and time change. And Hamilton comes in here and goes toe-to-toe with the Lions that are desperate, and they came out with a hard-fought victory.
The Nissan Titan Player of the Game is brought to you by the Nissan Titan, ranked #1 in quality by J.D. Power. And it is Dylan Wynn, our Player of the Game, who had 3 sacks in this one, 4 tackles as well. He's had 6 sacks in the last 4 games. He had a lot of success against the BC Lions. We could have gone Jagarrett Davis, who also had 3, but one was kind of a cheat because it was a Riley trip.
You could have gone anywhere on that defensive line. They were just running ET stunts up front and getting to the quarterback on a regular basis, making life miserable for Mike Riley. But Dylan Wynn, he's got a great motor, big game for him, and a tough victory on the road. And that looks good on him. I know that playing right home will be much easier now.
And for the BC Lions, the franchise has a long way to go. Mike Riley crossed the 30,000 passing yard mark. An ex-Lion was celebrated today. 2 ex-Lions, Darren Flutie and G. Roy Simon. Unfortunately for them, their old team lost. Mind you, for Darren Flutie, he played on both these teams, so maybe there's a little bit of Flutie that's happy. Devon Claybrook's looking for his first win at home. Not much to be happy about. Dane Evans, wasn't a pretty game for him, but it was enough to get the win. The Ticats improved to 8-2. SportsCenter is next.